Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 3rd to the 9th of November 2014. We begin this week with Mars now embedded in Capricorn, and I feel that this will be important towards the full moon on Thursday. So Capricorn is the sun's rebirth at the winter solstice, and the mountain of the mountain goat is the sun's climb to its height at the summer solstice. So anybody born into this collective field is said to have a sense of perseverance and sustenance, a high goal, to choose something that's challenging and demanding but worth achieving, and to build slowly towards it on solid foundations. So Capricorn is a beautiful sign, and we all have it somewhere in our chart. It's one of my favourites because it's got dignity and integrity and grace, and it's here to actually make the most of those forces. So it's a beautiful sign. But with Mars in Capricorn, what we're going to see here is it's about where we take our life force energy and direct it. So over the next few weeks, up until the first week of December, have a look at basically, is it worth it? If we're running around using up all this energy, where is it actually going to? Is it being dispersed? Is it being focused? And the thing that you're putting it into, do you actually care about the end result? And is it going to make you proud? Is it something that you're really worth putting your energy into? So a very, very solid feel here with Mars in Capricorn until the beginning of December. So like I say, this goes really well with the full moon on Thursday, which is a moon in Taurus, and Taurus is an earth sign, again very nurturing and sustaining. So the full moon in Taurus comes in the middle of the month where the sun is passing through Scorpio, and this can actually be quite a welcome opposition, because Scorpio takes us into the deep, the psycho-spiritual, alchemical journey of dying to the base, raising up to the crown, to face all of our demons and to look at that shadow side and that subconscious. And if we just did that on a daily basis for a long, long time, we may feel like we've pulled ourselves apart, or you could get trapped in the mind and the psychology of it all. But Taurus comes along and says, stop for a moment, feel everything in the heart, find that self-love, find that nurture, be gentle with yourself. You have the core strength and it will be worth it, but maybe just stop and pamper yourself for a while. Have a look at the simplicity of nature, because I find that Scorpio can make things very complicated with all this mental psychological exploration, and the opposite of that is to have a look at something that's really simple, like the rain on the grass or the purr of a cat. It's something really now that brings us back to the perfection of the current moment. So the full moon in Taurus on Thursday and through to Friday, having that time out, having that presence, just stop and appreciate, send out a blast of gratitude, just to counterbalance all of the Scorpio energy that's been going on as well. When we get to the weekend, we have Mercury going back into Scorpio, and this will start to round up the retrograde story. So Mercury tipped into Scorpio, turned retrograde, went back through to halfway back into Libra, turned direct, came back through Libra, and then by this weekend returns to Scorpio. So the next week or two we'll get the revelation of the meaning. What was it? What was our story that we learned? Because we all learn a different story, because it's to do with how we're communicating and processing thoughts. So of course we're all unique. So what has your story been? How have you changed your thoughts and your communication? Have you changed your mind about something? And especially with the bulk of this being in Libra, have you managed to balance your relationships, inner and outer? So higher, lower, young, old, masculine, feminine. Have you noticed any passive-aggressive behaviour patterns and been able to tackle those? Because that's the axis of Aries, and Libra can be aggressive and passive. So it's worthwhile taking a look at that kind of behaviour during the month of Scorpio. So at the weekend, Mercury goes back into Scorpio, and we start to see how that story has actually really benefited us, and how we're older and wiser as a result. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. As well as my full online astrology course, which you're very welcome to come and join in with, either doing all of the modules one a month, or just picking a module if you like the look of it. I'm also creating some sub-modules. So we have Astrology and Tarot, which is doing really well. This is for tarot readers that want to learn a bit of the astrology of the cards. and astrologers that want to add tarot to their readings for more depth, and complete beginners as a nice, gentle, intuitive way in. But just to let you know, the next two modules I'm working on, one is about the depths of the moon sign, and this is not necessarily for somebody that wants to learn a lot about astrology. There'll be a lot of given information, but it's about how to find your moon sign and how to work with it, on what dates, and using what tools to ritualize that experience and make the lunar cycles more personal to you. And the other module that will be out soon as well is to do with how to use the Celtic system of what we would call feng shui in China, which is space clearing and arrangement of your space. And this can be your home, your garden, your office, any space that you're in on a regular basis, according to the cardinal directions and the different objects, sacred objects, that we have in our lives to create more abundance and flow. So this is both cleansing, so there'll be some hints on how to spatially cleanse a place, because I think we need to do that a lot more these days. We're picking up a lot of energy everywhere we go, and we need to be able to actually cleanse ourselves on a regular basis. But this will also be to bring in confidence, beauty, health, abundance, and all those things as well, and to empower our world. This is particularly good if you're selling a home. It worked for me, where we need to actually bless the space and release it in order that we can let go and move on. So for anybody that's thinking of a home move, or anybody that's just moved to a new space, then this would be the one for you as well. So within the next couple of weeks, a new module called Celtic Feng Shui, and that will be a very exciting one for anybody who wants to apply these ancient techniques. So if you're interested in any of that, please do contact me, zoehind7@gmail.com.